To describe a resistor in Symbulator, we have to provide 4 pieces of information. The first is the name we have decided to give to the resistor. This name should have between 1 and 8 characters, and it must start with the letter R. It should also be a unique name. The second piece of information is the first node where the resistor is connected. The third piece of information is the other node in which the resistor is connected. The names for the nodes can be any number or letter as long as they are unique and non-reserved. The fourth piece of information is the value of the resistor in ohms. This value can be numeric or it can be symbolic. We want to make sure that we separate these elements of the description using commas. Consider this resistive circuit. Imagine that the value for each resistor is identical and it is known as R. We don't have the number in ohms, we just know it's a symbolic value R. The question is, how can we describe this circuit? Well, the first thing you do is to give a name to each node. That name for the node has to be unique, can be a letter or a number or a combination, and it cannot be a reserved variable. In this example that we are analyzing of the resistive cube, there are 8 nodes, and we will name them A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. You could also name them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we want to name each one of the resistors. Each name should be unique and should start with the letter R. The names can include, after the R, they can include letters or numbers. Reserved variables should not be used. Like a very tempting one is RC or REF. These are reserved in the calculator, so they are not allowed. In the example we are discussing, there are 12 resistors. We have named them R1 through R12. Having named all the nodes and resistors, now we proceed to describe each resistor one by one. The first resistor, R1, is connected between nodes A and D, and its value is R. So we describe it as R1, A, D, R. The second resistor, R2, is connected between A and E and has a value of R. So we describe it as such. And so on and so forth, we describe all the 12 resistors in the circuit. Now that we have described the circuit, we come to the question of how can we find the equivalent resistance of this resistive circuit. Symbulator has a script called ER. It takes 3 arguments. The first one is a circuit description as a string, either stored in a variable or provided directly as an argument, and then the 2 nodes between which we want to find the equivalent resistance. This script will find the value in ohms of the equivalent resistance and will store it in a variable called REQ. Let's see an example with the circuit we have already described. We type this description in the text editor of the calculator, then we copy-paste the description, and once we have copied it, we will put that description in a variable called CIR. For this you can use the custom menu to save some typing. So you save that description of the circuit in a variable called CIR. Then you invoke the ER script and tell it that you want the equivalent for that circuit between nodes A and G, and then you run it. The calculator will ask if you want a direct current analysis or an alternating current, and you specify it's a direct current, so just enter. And then you ask for the variable REQ, which has the value of the equivalent resistance, and we find that it is For this resistive cube, it is 5R/6.